Welcome to a tour of National Geographic Learning Reach for Reading e-assessment on myngconnect.com. myngconnect.com is your one-stop portal for online materials available for both you and your students. Our focus today is going to be for educators, so click to the right of the words for educators. Log in using your assigned credentials, and that should direct you to your homepage for myngconnect.com Reach for Reading. Our focus today is going to be on e-assessment. So as we spend the next few moments together, you are going to learn quite a bit about the formatting for e-assessments.
Once you activate the e-assessments, you are directed to the User Management Console. I'd like for you to focus for a moment on that top menu of the User Management Console dashboard. You see the Home, Manage, File Rostering, and Reports and Grading. A good portion of time will be spent with reports and grading, but before we go there, we actually need to activate a test. So let's begin with the section entitled Manage. Once you click Manage, this will be your class information. Just search for the class in which you would like to activate a test. I am going to activate a test in my Reach for Reading class. When I click on that class, I see my class information. I could see my students listed within that class, and then I see a tab that says Tests. When I click on the tab that indicates these are where my tests are found, I'm going to go ahead and just separate it into grade 3 and show all of the assessments available. Each of your assessments within Reach for Reading are already a part of the User Management Console. All you need to do is actually activate that particular test for your students, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's scroll down, and we are going to go into Grade 3, Unit 2, Week 1 of Instruction. So within Grade 3, Unit 2, Week 1, there are 3 tests available: reading comprehension, vocabulary, writing, revising, and editing. And I am going to just take a few moments and activate those 3 tests for our student, Kate Lewis. So I click beside Kate's name and tell it I'd like to assign this test for this date, and then update it. Yes, proceed. And now that test has been actively assigned to Kate Lewis. I'm going to go back to the class list again, and I'm going to activate another test for Kate, just so you see the entire process. So we've done reading comprehension. Let's do vocabulary. Again, I'm going to find Kate's name, and I am going to activate this test for her. And you get the idea, so I really will not activate that 3rd test. And now this test is also ready for Kate. When she logs into her account, she will see those 2 assessments activated and ready for her to take those exams. Now, once she finishes that exam, you'll see reports and grading is where you'll find her information. Now that we have actually assigned a test to students, let's go ahead and spend the rest of our time in reports and grading. Now that the student has an activated test, they can log into myngconnect.com, take that test. Most of the items within that assessment will be graded by the system. There are, though, some items that will require students to do some writing, and the teacher will need to go in and manually assign a grade to that particular test. And in order for you to do that, you would click on the icon for Reports and Grading, And once you choose your icon for reports and grading, your class list is going to appear. And again, all of my content is in the demo class. And we will be talking about these items momentarily, but I'm going to focus for just a moment on the assignment take list. Within the assignment take list, you will be able to find your students and the assessments they have taken, and then also find the section in which you need to assign a score. As I look at my list of assessments, I see many of them have already been manually graded, but as I scroll down the screen, I know there's one that requires manual grading. So I am going to open that particular assessment for this student, and I happen to know that it's item number 9 that needs a manual score. So I am going to scroll down and stop when I get to item number 9. And when I get to item number 9, I see that this particular item requires grading by me, the teacher. It's a written response, and my student did not record anything for this writing. So this student, Mr. Alan Blackfoot, is actually going to get a 0 for this particular score. As I continue scrolling all the way down to the end of this particular assessment, I'll find at the very, very bottom the opportunity for me to apply these changes. In order for these changes to take effect, to show up, I must scroll down to the bottom and apply changes. Now this student will have a complete score for this particular item or this particular test. When I open reports and grading, I find all of the classes that I have available to me. Since all of my data is included in the demo class RFR, I'm going to click there. Once I click on demo class RFR, I find all of the reports that are available for me. I have a unit test report, a standards report, as well as a benchmark report. We've already taken a few minutes so that you could see how grading is done through that assignment take list. So for now, we're going to go into the section for the unit test report. Let's begin by taking a look at the demo class information. We will look first at the unit test report. As I see in my select assignments, we are looking at reading comprehension for grade 3, unit 1. I also could find information for vocabulary, writing, revising, and editing as well. When I click go, the information that's going to be provided for me is for this specific class and their reading comprehension unit tests. I see the test that was taken, the date the test was submitted, and I also could print this information if I'd wanted to print it. The information in this box clearly states my class information that I am looking for. As I scroll down the page, not only do I see my class information, I see all of my students by name and their particular scores. This information is provided for me, performance by individual test. I also can, if I continue scrolling down, see performance by skill of that particular student or class. And if I scroll even further, for those students who needed reteaching, I even see reteaching information. You'll also notice standards that are listed here, and when I place my cursor over these standards, I know that that information is available for me. You might ask, how do I know which students need reteaching? I'm going to scroll back to the top of my data report and spend a little bit of time here. As I've indicated, we see my entire class information and you see their scores. Some of these scores are in red, and every time you see one of these scores in red, that means the student did not perform as well and reteaching is available for me to use with those particular students. If I wanted to click on an individual student to see just that student's information, I would be able to find just information for the student, in this case, Alan Blackfoot. So now that I've opened up just Alan's information, you'll see a lot more detail for that specific student. I see test performance with overall scores and points, and I also see performance and reteaching by skill. This particular student, Alan, doesn't need any reteaching in any of these areas, with the exception of possibly this score here. And if I wanted to see that lesson that's available for reteaching, it's available for me here as a PDF. Before returning to the home screen, let's take a look at some additional information. Your entire student population, your class, is available to you for individual reporting by using this drop menu that you see on the screen. As you know, we are currently looking at Alan Blackfoot, but if I wanted to see information regarding Kate Lewis, I could click on her name, click Go, and that same information that I saw for Alan, I now see for Kate. So I just wanted to make sure you were aware you didn't have to go all the way back to the home page in order to see all of your class data. Let's now go back to that home page so that you can take a look at another one of the assessments that's available, the Standards Report. And the Standards Report is going to provide you the information for those particular standards. We are looking at the Standards Report by performance of those Common Core standards. And just as you could in the previous report, you see your entire class information, but if you wanted to click on individual students, you would be able to do that as well. You'll notice if I place my cursor over the Common Core standard, that particular standard appears on the screen. If you scroll to the very bottom of this report, you'll find a key code. And that key code here indicates to you what these red circles mean, or these black circles, or these half circles that you see on the screen. That key code is provided for you at the bottom of your entire class report. We'll scroll up to the top one more time and then take a look at that final report that's available for you. The final report we will take a look at is the benchmark report. Because we have been looking at reading on the other reports, I want to be consistent and show the reading report here as well. When I click Go, I see my information for the benchmark reading test, and I am looking at my class report. And just as you have seen in previous reports, that information is provided to me by my class, and then of course by student as well. On the top line of my performance summary, I see the average by Common Core strand, and you see those different areas that are indicated. As I scroll down the page, I will get these pieces of information individually as well. Again, performance by summary, and then as I scroll down, you will find performance by strand, reading strands for information text. As I continue scrolling by strand, I see language standards, and if I scroll one more time, I also see those for reading standards for literature. And as indicated earlier, those key codes are provided for you for those students who might need some reteaching support or that fall below 75% of the scores that are available for your particular classes. You've now seen a brief demonstration of the different types of reports that are provided for you within Reach for Reading, and we'll take just a brief moment to look at the assignment take list as well.
The assignment take list is where you, the teacher, can go in and assign your assessments to students as well as manually grade those items that require you to grade them as opposed to the system grading information for you within e-assessment. Students can go in and take whatever assessments you assign them, and the majority of those will be graded by e-assessments. Some of those items require students to do writing, and you will need to manually grade those yourself. As we scroll down this page of assessments, I see that the majority of these have already been graded by me as the teacher, but this particular student, Alan Blackfoot, requires a grading for one of his items. So I am going to open up that test that Alan has taken and take a look at the question that I need to grade. One of the nice things about this, when I am here, I can physically see all of Alan's responses that he made within his e-assessment test. I know that the item that needs to be graded is item number 9, so I'm going to quickly scroll down to item number 9, and you will see that this item requires a written response by the student. Alan, in this particular case, did not put anything in for his response. So I, as his teacher, if he had written something, could give him a rubric score of 1 or 2. But because he did not write anything, Alan will get a 0 for this particular score. Once I've made my rubric score, I'll go all the way down to the bottom of this page and then apply whatever changes I've made. Once I apply those changes, that score will be saved, and I will be able to go back and take a look at Alan's test, and we'll see that it has been completely saved for him. When you are on the home page for your user management console, before we leave, I would like to share with you a bit of information. On the far right side of your screen, there is a help button. And as this has been just an overview of e-assessments, you will find all kinds of documents to help you be successful with Reach for Reading e-assessment. When you click the help button, you'll see 3 tabs: Login Help, User Documents, and Contact Us. When clicking on User Documents, you will find for MyNG Connect e-assessment a complete user guide that you can save to your desktop, save on your files, print, or just have handy as a reference to help you through each and every part of MyNG Connect e-assessment. I hope this tour has been helpful for you, and we look forward to working with you soon.